Hi, and welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about mindset traps that keep you from your dream life. They're absolutely so common, and people don't realize that this is why they don't have any movement towards their goals and their dreams and all of these fabulous things we have planned for our life, and we just can't get started. So I remember when I got ready to turn 40, and I saw it as like, 40 was going to come, and then I was going to somehow magnificently turn into this woman that I knew that I could be, or I aspired to be. And 40 came, and 40 went, and 41 came, and 41 went, and nothing happened. It was like I didn't know where to start, and there wasn't anyone around me to show me the way. So this channel pretty much exists for women over the age of 40 or 50 or 60 who reach a season in your life where you're like, hey, I feel a change coming. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I need something different. I need something a little bit more in my life. And whether it's a small change, a big change, we all go through that season at different times. That's why I say it's for women over the age of 40. You could be 50, you could be 60, you could be 70. It doesn't matter when you feel the need to have that change. It happens for all of us. And what I want to tell you is this, is that on this channel, for me, I know I had lost myself along the way. I'm married, I have kids, and by the time I turned 40, I kind of had lost where I was. And even if you are not in that season, and even if you've never had that feeling, something in you inherently is saying you want more. There's something that you need to fulfill yourself more. So today we're going to talk about mindset traps that keep you from making that movement towards that dream life that you see. And we're going to get started in a second. So mindset trap number one is thinking that you run out of time. Thinking that dramatic change cannot happen at any age, any day of the week, any year. It's typical. This society, let's be honest, this society has a problem with two things. And especially if you're going to put them together, one is society has a problem with aging. We feel like if you have not, started a startup and done all these things and been jet setting and at Yacht Week by the age of 30, that you've ran out of time and you really still don't have the time to change everything about your life, like do a 180-degree shift in your life. So our society tells us that we've run out of time. You've had children, maybe you got married, maybe you didn't have children, but you're just, frankly, at this age, you're too old. It's almost like they tell us we don't owe it to ourselves to achieve that later in life. And we absolutely deserve it. You should absolutely have joy and happiness at every stage of your life and at every year. So mindset number one is that thinking that you've ran out of time at this age. Also, the other thing society has problems with is change. They pretty much want to define who you should be at every age. That's when you hear things of like, oh, you're this age, you shouldn't dress this particular way. Or if you're a woman at in your 40s, you should be thinking about these certain things in your life. They want to define that for you. And when you decide that you want to change and you want to do something else and you want something else to be your focus, well, it's difficult for them to accept the change, but it can still be done. The issue is we need to make sure that we don't adopt that mentality because it will keep us from what is due to us. And so we just want to make sure that we're not internalizing that. So the second mindset that keeps you from attaining your dream life is someone told us we couldn't do it. And so we actually believe them. Like even if they were telling us and we were like, I don't listen to what that person says. It has no effect on me. I can tell you those things kind of dig their way down into you and you start to believe them. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this and tell you this. I know some people are like, I don't listen to what other people say. You may not listen and you may say, oh, well, I'm the type of person that when someone tells me I can't do it, it just makes me want to work harder to achieve it. I hear you, but I want you to listen to this. Fear-based action can only take you so far. And what I mean by that is you have a fear of failure based on something someone else said. And that can only take you so far. It can only let you achieve certain things. Because if your mentality is like, someone told me this and I'm going to keep doing it because I want to prove them wrong. Your self-worth is built into that. You're going to continue to need that drive. And here, we want to break through those mentalities so that we can drive ourselves. We don't need that external force, because that's actually like a negative way to reinforce change. I'll talk about that in a different video, but in this case, we want to make sure that mindset-wise, we are not internalizing, someone else told us we couldn't do it. Usually they tell you that because they couldn't imagine themselves doing it themselves, but we don't want that mentality, and we can't accept that mentality because we have things to do. The third mindset that keeps us from achieving our dream life is that we've given over our power of decision making to someone else. At some point in our life, we've given that decision making power, the yes or the no, or what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you can achieve, to someone else. It could be parents, it could be friends, it could be spouse, it could be partner. But somewhere you have delegated that authority to someone else, not realizing that now it makes it very difficult for you to be sure in things that you want to do for yourself. It's almost like a mindset of where you need things to be verified before you make a decision or before you make a move. And that is a very large hindrance to you being able to explore what it is that you need to make yourself happy and to bring you joy in your life. No one else can do that for you, and no one else can tell you what that is for you. So you have to be able to break out of that mindset and to take that power back that you've given to someone. And a lot of times we don't even know that we've done that. We don't even know that we gave it to somebody else, that we basically phoned that decision in. Sometimes it happens just over time, slowly. And then you look up and you find that you don't have the strength to make your own decisions, or you're questioning your own decisions too much. It's pretty normal. I see it a lot, and even I experience that. So if you are in that space, that is going to be another key mindset to break through in order to get that control back so you can become the captain of your own ship. The fourth mindset that keeps us from achieving our dream life is that we have turned ourselves into a side character in our own movie. What do I mean by that? I mean just that. You're no longer the main character. You are always a part in somebody else's story. This has nothing to do about being selfish or being seen as this, that, and the other. What it means is that you've stopped focusing on you. You only relate yourself in relation to somebody else. Daughter, son, sister, friend, wife, coworker, whatever it is. Your frame of thinking and the way that you move is being dictated by you being the side person, assist in somebody else's story. That mindset will never allow you to write your own story, because you're like I said, you're just a part of somebody else's story. So one of the mindset shifts we have to make is that we have to say, no, I am the author of my story. I have the power to create my own story, and I am the main character. Everyone else is doing that. We have to bring that power back to ourselves so that we can do it too. The fifth mindset trap that a lot of people fall into, obviously, is fear of failure. I can't even say it. As you can see, I've gotten past that, but it's a huge one. I can barely say it. Fear of failure. But I don't want to understate the power that fear of failure, has on you trying new things and being curious about things. It's something that it's so inherently common in us, in our friends, in our family, that even if you try to do something outside of the sphere of that, even if you are to break through, others will remind you, like they'll superimpose their fear on you. So in order for you to make a change, you have to be able to get past that fear of failure. Don't look at failure as failure. You need to look at it as learning lessons. And I get it. I get it. If it's not just you, you may have a real fear of the consequences your choices have on other people, which is fine. The awareness is what's important. Lack of movement doesn't need to not happen, if you understand what I'm saying. What you want to make sure you're doing is you're considering your effects on other people if you have people that are part of your circle, or say if you're married or if you have children. And yes, there may be actual like financial implication on what you decide to do. You just need to be aware and considerate, but that should not and cannot prevent you from making the changes that you need to make for yourself. Another manifestation of that fear of failure is that we worry about how we'll be viewed if we do in our minds see ourselves as failing. So here we are, we have our entire worth as a person in the communities that we're in based on whether or not we succeed or fail. And that mentality of how we're judging ourselves is something we have to get past as well. You can't come from a judgmental standpoint and mindset if you are going to take risk on your behalf. You have to be the champion for you. Let's be honest. This work of achieving your dream life is the work for you to do. No one else can do it for you. So you have to be okay with things are going to challenge you and that you're going to learn. And know that your self-worth has absolutely nothing to do with the outcomes of what's happening while you're on this journey. Now, the sixth and final mindset shift, or mindset trap, I should say, that keeps you from your dream life is actually you do not believe in your ability to change. I know people say, no, I got it. I can do these things. I will tell you now, all the mindset traps that I just told you, 1 through 5, are all masked for number 6, which is not believing in your ability to change. You can say, I identify with giving my power over to somebody else. I can totally identify with the fear of failure. I can totally identify with the fact that I'm like a side character in my own life. You can identify with those things, but they all point to the fact that we don't believe in our own abilities. Because when you believe in your abilities, I mean to the core, nothing anyone says, nothing anyone does around you will affect you. And I'm telling you this, you will not even let your old programming and your own mindset, things that have been implanted for years, you will not even let that sabotage you. You'll recognize it for what it is, and you'll be able to have the strength to move past it and to still accomplish all the change that you want to see in your life. So if you identify with any of these mindsets, just know they are very common. We have all had to break through them, but we can do it, and we can do it together. And I'm here to help. The other women that will be joining this community, they can help too. Let me know in the comments, do you see any of this in yourself or maybe in friends? And maybe share with us some of the things that you've done to overcome them. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're at the beginning of your life upgrade, dream life visioning, if you're at the beginning of that process, make sure to check out my Life Hack Starter Guide. I'm going to link it down below. It gives you some great direction on just where to start. That's something that I really wish I would have known in order to define the plan to get me to where I am today, because now I can definitely share with you, like, I feel like I could have achieved so many more things a little bit faster with a little bit more direction instead of just finding it out along the way. So this is where you can get that information. Again, check out the starter guide, reach out to me. I love to answer questions. And I also love recommendations on what videos you'd like to see. This is a new channel. The Luxury Vagabond is a channel and a community that I am building. And I want input. I seriously would love input from ladies on what's missing. What do you feel is missing in your life? What do you need to be successful and to define yourself in a new way? Like, what are some of the things you want to know? Reach out to me anytime. And until the next video, have a beautiful day.